so this is my first artist talk, so I'm a little bit nervous, but so I'm fairly new at this, but for the last 3 years, I have been really trying to figure out what type of artist I'd like to be, what type of mediums I'd like to use. So I've been kind of playing around with a lot of different things. So I've recently come to a 5-step process in which you see here, and I build a background. And I like to have the background breaking through to the surface. So in order to do that, I have to wait for each step to dry, which actually works out really well for my life because I work full time and I have a toddler. So I have to be patient and wait for each step to dry. One of the layers is a chemical that actually breaks up the paint, and then I have to wait for that to dry for 24 hours. And if I wait more than 24 hours to paint on top of it, it's kind of ruined. So it's kind of like that's very timely. So when I paint on top of that layer, as it's drying, it starts to break apart. So when it's breaking apart, I then continue to pull up paint to get this effect, and then I do some other things over top of it. But what I'm trying to show is. I'm having a hard time verbalizing this, like what my paintings actually mean. But what the background is kind of like our people. So inside we have scars, we have secrets, we have all sorts of things bubbling under the surface, and then they break through. So you see kind of like I love doing like the rough kind of globs of edges and texture. So it breaks through to the surface. So it's kind of like an ugly, beautiful thing. So I really didn't want to just do something beautiful. I wanted to do something with a little bit of meaning to it and a little bit of edge to it. So this painting is called "And He Wants It to Be Ugly." So it reminded me of a bad relationship that some of us, or maybe all of us, have been in, where that person is kind of trying to break you down. So this is what it has come out to be. So, any questions?
What's the material that you use that breaks the paint up?
It's actually an antiquing fluid that's used for furniture.
Yeah.
So don't ask me how. I just, like, in my journey, I just kind of went to hardware stores and to different paint stores and just started just grabbing things and practicing with them just to kind of see what they would do.
Mm-hmm.
So I have piles of paintings at home that didn't work out so well, but it's brought me to this point.
It almost reminds me of what you said about shopping in hardware stores. It made me think of the Mark Bradford talk I heard about if it ain't at Home Depot, I ain't get it elsewhere.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I actually use another secret in here. It's don't tell anybody, but I use paper towel rolls.
Oh, paper towel?
The roll, like actual, the cardboard rolls. That's the only thing I've found. I have no idea why I even thought of it. I think it might have just been in my studio, and I'm like, yeah, let's just see what this does. And it actually does a really good job of pulling up sections of paint, and to really kind of pop out the background.
So you said ugly. Why do you think that's ugly?
Well, I think it's, you don't think so? Thank you. Well, I think it's beautiful ugly. So it's kind of like the background is supposed to be kind of like the rough interior. And so that's, I guess, supposed to be the kind of ugly, but, I tried to make it a little beautiful on the outside. And I did, prior to this series I'm working on, I did a series, I called them my bars. And basically the outside of the painting is very calm, nice facade, and the inside of the painting is just kind of all this craziness with different mediums going on. So it's kind of the same idea, like the inside of people. We got a lot going on underneath the surface, and on the outside we kind of try to cover it up with this nice, pleasant, put together picture.
Now this is acrylic or oil?
Acrylic.
Acrylic.
Mm-hmm.
And do you want to talk about your color choices?
I'm drawn to bright colors, and then the muddied colors kind of come out with the kind of the pulling up of the paint. So, and I kind of need to stick to a color palette. That's something I'm working on, but I just really just go by whatever mood I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
So I have some darker ones. I have some, but most of them are pretty bright.
Thank you, Sherry.
Thank you.